CEO of Coco International, Christopher Nathan, has been diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic spinal cancer, as the prostate cancer that he has spread to his spine, resulting in 5 lesions and a fracture to the spine. This morning, we are joined by Christopher Nathan as we get a quick update, but also discuss a little bit more of his legacy and his impact on the modeling landscape. Good morning to you, Christopher Nathan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, TTT. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
How are you doing? How are you feeling this morning?
In good spirits, thankfully, because yesterday was very low. So I'm glad that we're doing this interview today. And I hope that my story and my situation will save a few lives of our men in Trinidad and Tobago who many refuse to have a PSA check and a rectal examination because they don't want no doctor to stick the finger up in the anus. And I guess I was one of them.
I really hope that people do take heed, because it feels as though like life can absolutely change in the blink of an eye. Tell me, what was your first thought process after you got the diagnosis? Because I understand that you did actually go through testing before, but it was misdiagnosed.
Correct. All right, well, I want to take myself back 23 years, because now they have determined that my prostate cancer was in my body for over 23 years.
Wow.
So that would take me back to my flying career when I was working as a purser with BWI West Indies Airways. And I recall in 2003, remember BWI dissolved in 2006. So my last 3 years of flying, I started having a lot of discomfort in my hips, and which resulted in pain on long flights, because we do long flights like Stockholm and Germany and Switzerland, etc. And I didn't think much of it, but it appears that is when the prostate cancer left my prostate gland and started moving up. So it went first to my hip, which is where I was getting the hip pain, and then into my spine, and it had over 23 years to do its damage to my spine. So over those years, I was getting back pain from time to time, but not thinking anything of it. Only in July this year, while I was doing the Coco International Fashion Workshop with the youths at Nales in Port of Spain, I was coming from Tobago every week from Friday to Monday to do the workshop sessions with the youths. And I was getting a lot of pain in my back. So I went to Mount Hope Hospital for an X-ray, which was done. And the doctors told me that I have osteoarthritis in my spine. I went back to Tobago in August to the Scarborough Hospital because the pain was intensifying, and the doctor there also told me that it was osteoarthritis in my spine. So once the workshop ended and we had a successful Style Caribbean and top model competition in September, on September 5th, I decided I'd go for a break, a holiday, and booked at a hotel in Beckwith to stay for 2 months from November to January the 2nd. The first 3 weeks in Beckwith, I was fine, having a ball on Princess Margaret Beach, and then suddenly on the 21st of November, trying to watch Miss Universe, because Coco Velvet had our Latifah Morris representing Trinidad and Tobago at the Miss Universe contest. I was not able to watch Miss Universe because of pain. The next morning, I had pins and needles throughout my body and muscle spasms. The following day, I tried to get out of the bed and fell like a lump of potatoes on my hip, and that is where the fracture to my spine took place. So the hotel took me to the hospital in Beckwith. A lot of tests. The PSA check was actually done, and it's normally from 4 up to some small amount. Mine was 1,000, the PSA check. And then they realized clearly that this man must have prostate cancer. So they did the X-rays and all the other tests. And the medical director informed me then that I have had prostate cancer for quite some time. It spread to my spine, resulting in 5 lesions on the spine and a fracture. So that's how it took place. So from there, I was airlifted to Trinidad and came straight to the Sandy Grande Hospital for treatment, where I'm going to St. James Medical Center for radiotherapy. It has left me paralyzed from my chest down, so I'm bedridden. But I'm getting a lot of love and support from the fashion community. And in fact, Mailing, Claudia Pegas, and Wendy Fitzwilliams have organized a fund for me for medical expenses. So we're going to have a show called Catwalk and Cocktails for Christopher Nathan this Sunday before Easter at One Woodbrook Place. And I hope people come out and have a good time, enjoy the fashion shows. Mailing, Claudia, Peter, Heather, we're going to invite all the top designers. So that's where we're at.
All right. It sounds like you're dealing with a lot, but I love the fact that you're still in good spirits about it. Have you had chance to kind of, as you've been in bed, have you been able to reflect on these people that you're talking about who've been coming to visit, who putting together the fashion show, and the impact that you have had throughout your career with Coco Velvet?
I have, indeed. And that is why, Rakshan, I have come to the realization that I was put on this earth to do God's work. Because the last 28 years I've been working like a mad dog with cancer, getting so much done for the fashion industry, youth development, setting up the UTT's Fashion Academy, establishing the Fashion Association of Trinidad and Tobago, convincing the government to establish fashion as an economic sector for industrial development. All these things I did while I was flying and working as a fashion director. Because when you have cancer, you normally will get some kind of slowdown. Yeah. I never slow down. So all along I believe that I was doing God's work. And perhaps God is now saying, young man, you have done your job well. It's time to rest and come home. And if that's the case, I accept that. I've already surrendered, submitted to God. And whatever happens from this hospital bed in the next few weeks or the next few months, I will accept with grace. Because I've had a good life. I'm 63 years old now. And I've been working for the past 48 years in the fashion industry constantly. Never took a break.
Yeah.
So perhaps it's now time for me to rest.
And since you've been laying the resting, let me congratulate you still, because I understand that both the Miss World Trinidad and Tobago current title holder and the first runner-up are both graduates of the 2025 Coco Velvet International Fashion Workshop. How does it feel?
All three, in fact, Rakshan.
All Miss three,
Universe,
fantastic.
Yes. All
tell
three.
Me,
Miss Universe Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
Yes, the Miss Universe Trinidad and Tobago attended the workshop along with Georgia Lee Gill and Shanique Marcelin from Tobago. So all three were in the workshop this year, and all three have won. And in fact, Shanique I'm very excited about Shanique because at 17 years old, the first runner-up at Miss World Trinidad and Tobago, she has a bright future ahead of her.
Nice. And I saw that you have a video here of you putting the crown on her, and
indeed,
she came to visit.
Indeed, because when I officially selected her from Coco Velvet in Tobago to represent Tobago at Miss World Trinidad and Tobago, we didn't have the crown. We didn't have it at the time. So I took the opportunity when she visited me to formally crown her Miss Tobago 2025. You recall that in 2024, we had a pageant called Miss Tobago Beauty Pageant. Yeah. And we selected Vanessa Ortiz to represent Tobago at Miss World Trinidad and Tobago in 2024. So that was a whole pageant. But this year, we didn't have the resources from the Tobago House of Assembly to do the pageant. So we decided just to select one person from Tobago. And she, I felt, was the best candidate to represent Tobago at Miss World Trinidad and Tobago this year.
Nice, man. Tell me about the future of Coco Velvet. What does that future look like from where you sit?
Well, that's another thing. God works in mysterious ways because in May this year, a young lady appeared out of wind called Stephanie Sergio, who had just graduated from the University of Hawaii in fashion production and fashion design, and found me and asked me if I would take her on as an apprentice and mentor her for a period of time because she is really impressed with what Coco Velvet has been doing. So I offered her a 6-month internship and have been mentoring her for 6 months. And I have selected her to be Coco Velvet's general manager and fashion director, not knowing that I was going to be incapacitated. And that was in May this year. So she did the workshop, the Trinidad and Tobago Youth Creative Arts Workshop, by herself. She managed the entire workshop. And she also directed Style Week behind the scenes. Nobody knew she was behind the scenes doing all the work. I was in the front looking smart. but she did all the work for stylists and top models. So she proved herself competent enough to take Coco Velvet International forward. So I'm leaving Coco Velvet in good hands.
Nice, and I'm really happy to hear that. And you know, Christopher, I want to hope that this is the moment for you to rest and not the end. And I'm really hoping that your body is able to adjust and accept the treatment that is needed, and that we will be able to see you up and about again.
I would love that, because I would love to stay in the land of the living, but if it's not God's will, I'm ready to transition.
I hear you. Well, I want to wish you all the best, Christopher, and I want to thank you so much for the work that you've done over the years, and I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with us this morning as well.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day, Christopher, and we'll hopefully check in with you very soon again.
Okay then. Bye-bye.
Take care. That's Christopher Nathan, CEO of Coco Velvet International, just sharing with us a bit of his journey, and of course some of the proud moments that he's still receiving, having title holders winning up to last week, this weekend. So congratulations to you, Christopher Nathan. And of course we definitely sending all the love and all the prayers and all the blessings from all of us here at TTT Limited, because every time you walk in the building, everybody know you. So we definitely want to send our love and our prayers and our blessings. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break and we come back with more on the Now Morning Show. Stick around.
All you need is just a charming smile. Make a new friend for the Christmas this year. Let's be friends. I tell you, let's be friends. Let's be friends this year. You don't have to panic and run wild. All you need is just a charming smile. Make a new friend for the Christmas this year. Let's be friends. I tell you, let's be friends. Let's be friends this year. You don't have to panic and run wild. All you need is just a charming smile. Make a new friend for the Christmas this year. Let's be friends. I tell you, let's be friends. Let's be friends this year. You don't have to panic and run wild. All you need is just